Hello, my Facebook family. Happy Friday. I am coming to you today to share with you alternatives to this mighty beast that I'm spinning in my hands. Y'all have seen them everywhere. I know that you have. If you have no idea what this is, you're kind of living under a rock. This is called a fidget spinner, and they're pretty much the bane of everybody's existence right now because kids love them. But they're not being utilized correctly, so teachers hate them. So I am coming to you today to share with you, I wrote a blog post yesterday about alternatives to using one of these guys. So you don't ever have to use this thing again. Please don't use these anymore. Don't buy them. Don't buy them for your kids, nothing. I want to share with you, I have maybe 20-ish different alternatives for you to use with your kids in your classroom. If you homeschool with your kids at home, you can use to this little guy right here. So no more fidget spinner. I'm gonna throw him away and we're gonna get started. Like I said, I wrote a blog post and I think it went live yesterday for alternatives to the fidget spinner. In that blog post, you'll see all of this stuff that I'm gonna share with you today. I'm also gonna share some stuff that I got from Lakeshore Learning this morning because I'm really excited about that. And all the links for purchasing if you wanted to buy any of these alternatives to the fidget spinner will be in that blog post, which I will share after this live. So I'm just gonna pull some stuff and kind of get started. There's so much stuff that I have to show you. I'm just gonna pull some random stuff and get started. So yesterday I did a Facebook Live on special needs essentials. And I shared these tangles, which is where I got this one from. This is a fuzzy tangle, and this one is a textured tangle. This one came from specialneedsessentials.com. Again, the coupon code is good until tomorrow, or no, till today. You get 20% off, and their prices are really competitive with Amazon. So all it is you pull it apart. It doesn't make noise unless, I mean, if they're gonna bang it, you can kind of hear it. But other than that, it doesn't make noise. It kind of rolls up into this little size, so you could easily stick it on your lanyard if you need to take it with to inclusion. Can fit in a kid's pocket, in a parent's pocket, teacher's pocket, fit in a desk drawer with ease. I mean, you can literally put it in a purse, and it gives the kids a little fidget to do something with their hands. But this one is called a fuzzy because it's actually texturized and it feels fuzzy. So it's not hairy, but it's fuzzy. It has a fuzzy touch to it, where this one, you can kind of see the difference. This one is shiny, this one is fuzzy. This one is texturized. The plastic is actually texturized. So these are both Tangle Juniors. There are so many different sizes and colors of these that you can get. These are two of my favorites. I love, love, love this one though. So the next thing I have is one of these fidget balls. Now the other day I did a Facebook Live on how to make your own water bead sensory balls, and there is a freebie in my TPT store for how to make these. If you want to make them with your kids, there's a sequencing kind of like experiment to make them, so you can do that. Or you can buy, there are so many different kinds of these sensory balls. I actually left some out on my couch because I was playing with them last night, darn it. But this one here is from Abilations. It was a $3 add-on on Amazon, and it works the same as any. Some of them come with beads or balls like this. Some of them have sand in them. You can make your own with balloons, rice, beans, noodles. You can put just about anything inside of a balloon and have it work the same. But this one's nice because it does have a keychain. Again, you can put it on a lanyard, attach it to a backpack for when the kid's on a bus needs something to fidget with. He has that too. And these are thicker than what a balloon is. Sorry, my dog's sitting right next to me. So these are a little thicker than what a balloon are, so they'll last a little longer, but you have that option as well. The other thing I showed yesterday from Sensory Needs or Special Needs Essentials was this kind of tangle here. This one works the same as those other tangles that I showed, but you kind of have to think about it when you use it because the little holes need to line up. And I said this one would be great for trying to make it straight here and talk about it at the same time. This one would be great for a calm down kit because if a child needs a break and they can't seem to get the focus off of why they're a little frustrated, maybe they don't want to do the math work or something, you could just give this to them and say, hey, make this a straight line. So it really gets their critical thinking going and having to get this straight. So this is a great option. This is also from Special Needs Essentials. And the code to get 20% off for them is Teachers Rock, and that's only through today. So for this and this guy, which they also have some other really, really great stuff. So you have those two options. Now when it comes to like dough and like there's water beads, obviously, right? We all know what water beads are. I showed you guys my huge pack of 50,000 water beads that'll hopefully last me the entire school year. I have this here. You can put these into, I put them into a big bin that has legs on it so the kids can stand and play with the water beads. I usually change them out every 2 to 3 weeks. I have not tried, or I have not found an alternative to getting them not to stink and get moldy. I've literally tried every trick that y'all have recommended to me and none of it has worked for me. I've tried the essential oils and they make them smell great, but they're still getting really gross and disgusting after about 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how much we use them. I tried putting less into a container. It's in a sealed tight container, so it's just something that you're probably gonna have to change out every couple of weeks, which is fine. This big container here, 50,000, was like $13. So they're not super expensive and they're really easy to make. The kids love them. You have that as an alternative. We all know Play-Doh. So you have Play-Doh, different sizes, shapes, and colors. There's also, we all know what Play-Doh is, so I'm just going to keep going. You have that option. There's also Glow Dough. Okay, it's the same thing. It kind of feels like sensory slime that you would make with like glue and I think it's borax or whatever the stuff is that I made on the blog before. This feels just like that. This has colors in it. Although this feels cold to the touch and it kind of feels wet, but it's not. So you do have, you know, different slime DIY options as well. One of my favorite types of putty or dough is TheraPutty. Now I have it in 4 different colors. It comes in different hardnesses, if that's a word. Different strengths, okay, strengths, that's the technical word. So this is a squeeze 4 strength. I have it in 4 different colors that I got from Amazon. I think it was like $12 for 4 colors. And I think the one that I linked on the blog is like 6 colors for $15, so it's a little cheaper. This is really nice because it gets really stringy. What I like to do with it is put beads inside of it and have the kids get it out. Because it's tougher, like I'm really pulling this. It is tougher than Play-Doh. It's not, it doesn't leave a residue on the table or on anything when they play with it. Do not get this stuck in your hair though, or let a child get this stuck in their hair, because it is worse than anything to get out. But TheraPutty is always a great option for your kids, whether you want them to use it as a sensory thing or an incentive. We used it for both in my classroom. The next thing I have is, we used to have these all the time as a kid, and you know, these things, you never really think of them as like a sensory integration kind of thing, but you have these little pull things, right, and you can stick your finger in it, and this one has little balls in it. They come with different colors and they have glitter in them, so you can get these. I think this one was like a couple bucks. You probably get them at the Dollar Tree, to be honest. I just ordered on Amazon for ease of finding everything I needed at once. But they have them with animals in them sometimes, so it would be great if you find one with animals in it to do speech kind of things. Say, what kind of animal is this? What color is it? So these are great for multiple reasons as well. So you have one of these. You also have, ooh, these. These are one of my favorites because they're sensory for multiple reasons. The texture of them, I call these marble stretches. I'm not sure what they're actually called, but they're marble stretches, and all you do is, it's quiet, so you can't really hear it. There's a marble inside of here, and this cloth, they can feel the texture, so they have that sensory integration there. They kind of scrunch together, so if they wanted to do this as well, you can feel the marble in there, or they can just run their fingers and run the marble back and forth. It's discreet. They can put it underneath the table and play with it, and nobody will ever know. They come in a bunch of different colors. The pack that I got, we had 4, and it just came with the blue and yellow. Carrie wants to know, will I link all of these? Yes, I will share the blog post that I wrote, and it went live yesterday, that has pictures and links to all of these on the blog post. So if you have any questions after you read that blog post, just let me know and I'll answer your questions for you. The next thing, so you guys know that I love, love, love Mattr, which Michaels sells it. Lakeshore Learning also sells it now for the same price. It's $12.99. And Lakeshore Learning is like 20% off right now or something. But there's also this other brand called Squishy, which I got this before I had gotten the Mattr, and it was like $8 for this little container. So this is more expensive and it's the same thing as Mattr. And the Mattr has a couple more colors maybe. This doesn't have a scent to it. I thought maybe it was gonna smell like grape. It doesn't. You only get this little bit. So for $8, you only get the same little bit as you do an entire bag of Mattr, which you probably get like 6 to 8 times as much for $4 more to get the Mattr. It's the same stuff. It's like kinetic sand, except it's better. It doesn't leave a mess like on the carpet. It comes right up. It kind of sticks together like Play-Doh, but it has this sensory kind of falling apart like this as well. So I prefer Mattr over kinetic sand, over anything else. This is called Squishy, so if you wanted something with like a container, you can buy this. I've linked Mattr on the blog post only because it's cheaper and you get more. You can also find it at Michael's and use a coupon and get it for even cheaper. So this is also an option as long as, or with kinetic sand too. I just prefer this over kinetic sand. The next thing that I want to show you, I only have a couple more things, are chewy tubes, or chewies is what we call them. There are many different options. There's also stuff called Chewelry, right? Get it? Like jewelry, but you can chew on it. Chewelry? No? Okay. Well, I thought that was really unique and cute. So you can get these literally in so many shapes and sizes, colors. The necklaces are great because these ones are from Bestie Toys. They actually sent these to me, and I really like them. They're really thick, but they're soft enough for a kid to chew on, but they won't like bite through it. So that's really nice. I do know that different types of jewelry comes in different thicknesses and hardnesses. That's not really a word, but for kids that need different, like soft, like if they need a softer one or a harder one, depending on how hard or soft they bite for their oral sensory needs. So you have jewelry, they have sticks. I've seen ones with a T-Rex head, so I need to find that one. I mean, literally you can find them. So many companies sell them. Bestie Toys has these two that they sent me, and it's literally on a necklace chain. They wear it like a necklace, and then when they need their oral sensory input, they can just chew on it. They do have bracelets as well. They're more like beads, and I think I've linked one that you might not even think of, like, you know, when you have a baby, which I don't have kids yet, but I have a niece, so I know of these things. When you have babies and their teeth are coming in, they need that oral sensory, you know, thing in their mouth, and they have those really cute necklaces. You can also use those for girls because they might even be cheaper than jewelry. I'm not really sure. I've never bought one. I just know that that's also an option, and you can find those, I mean, at Target and Walmart, or maybe even the Dollar General, I don't know. But you also have like these kinds of things. These have bubbles on them. This one has 3 different sensory sides, so whichever one they prefer. There are ones that have 4 sides. There are ones shaped like peas, ones shaped like the letter Q. I mean, you can literally get these in so many different shapes and sizes, but if you have a student with an oral sensory processing disorder, where they just like to chew on things, that's their sensory input and output they need, maybe these chewies or jewelry will be the way for you. This one's great because you could easily make it a necklace and just stick some yarn through there. So you have that option. I'm going to wear this butterfly because kind of, well, I don't want to say it looks like Christmas because it's only July. I guess Christmas in July is coming. And go figure, the 2 that I picked up, if these are red and green, that's okay. So these are called stretch bands. They're similar to exercise bands in that they stretch, but that's about it. These ones are a little squishy. I'm not sure if they can be broken or ripped apart. I'm gonna imagine that with repeated use, and if you have a kid who is really gonna stretch it, it might. But I got this in a pack of 6. There are a couple different colors. They're really squishy. It's not sticky. It doesn't leave a residue on the table. They can even put it on the table and roll it like they would Play-Doh. I mean, it's not gonna change the shape or anything. They can wrap it around their hands and squeeze it. You could easily tie it around a wrist. and make it a bracelet, and then they could take it off if they go to inclusion and need something, you know, hanging around your neck for whatever reason. It's really versatile, and I do like that about it. This one has feathers stuck to it. So there is stuff that's going to stick to it. So if you have a kid who doesn't like germs or stuff sticking to them, this might not be the option for you. But they stretch really far. These, if you're looking for something to stick on a kid's chair or desk so they can put their feet on, I wouldn't use these. These are more for like your hands to use. I would just use regular exercise bands to do that, or there's different companies out there that sell those as well. You can get tennis balls and put those on an exercise band, or a bouncy string and put those on desks and chairs. That also works for sensory input of kids who have fidgety feet. When they're sitting at a desk, that works great. Another idea for fidgety hands is to stick Velcro right underneath the table where the child is sitting. That way when they're sitting there, they can touch the Velcro. You can use the hard Velcro or the soft Velcro. So the look or the hoop, the hoop, or am I right? The hook and loop. Oh my goodness. The hook and loop, so you can use that underneath the table, either side, whichever they prefer. I also have, what else do I have? Again, we have water beads. Like I showed these ones. You can get these at Michael's in the flower section. These are more expensive than the ones that I got from Amazon though, so I'm going to stick with that big container I got. These also debuted, and I got one to try it out because I ordered one from Amazon, and it ended up being one of those cheap, like from China things that never actually came to my house. So I bought one at Walmart. It was like 10 bucks. So for the price of it, I'm not really that impressed. I'm not going to lie. It does make noise. Like, this one is, you can't really hear it, but these ones click. Some of them don't make that much noise. You have these. So this to me is almost equivalent to a fidget spinner because it makes noise. There are some sides that don't make noise. Again, it's all what your child needs. I won't be using a fidget cube in my classroom, but if it's something that you want to use and it works for your kid, then by all means, please, please, please use it. What else do I have here? I have two more sets of things. So one thing that I had never thought about when it came to like fidget spinners or alternatives to a fidget spinner was something that Amazon actually recommended to me when I was shopping for all of this stuff for my classroom. And they were like, hey, try these out. Did y'all ever think that you could buy pens, right, that would double as kind of like a sensory integration, sensory processing thing? So this came in a pack. I want to say it was no more than $10 for the pack, but I could be wrong. This one, and again, you can probably find some of these things like at the dollar store, or if you go away on vacation, they have stuff like this at those touristy shops. So, I mean, you can literally glue a ball on a pen though too if you wanted to. Take some yarn or some ribbon and wrap it around a pen and stick a fuzzy ball on the end. But you can also do that. You can have the kids make their own, or you can buy them already made, however you want to do that. There are also these two different kinds. So there's two different kinds of this. I don't really know how to explain this. It's kind of like a gel. Like, it's not pokey. It doesn't hurt. But it's definitely there for, you know, that sensory integration. This one is just a ballpoint pen. It's not a clicker. This one is a clicker. So this helps as well. This one, I know we've seen versions of this. It kind of sits on the table. Like, it has the suction cup to sit on the table. I will say that pens, though, I am going to keep them in my classroom, and they're not going to go to inclusion because they will be a distraction for the other students. So these are going to be things, the pens themselves will be things that we use in my classroom. We'll be sending other things for sensory integration for the inclusion kids. But this one comes out of the feet, and you know, it has this little fuzzy thing. Again, you can probably find these at the dollar store. They're cheap little things, but I never thought of using them for sensory integration. So these are great. This one's really cool because it's like an octopus tentacle, and it's squeezy. Oh, and if you squeeze it, it kind of has a hole in it. And it's like a regular pen. It has these little things, so you have the different senses to touch it and all that fun stuff. But you have those different options. I'm sure you can find a lot of other different options for pens, or come up with your own DIY sensory integration pens. But I just wanted to show you these because I never thought to use pens in this manner. So I thought that was really fun to show you. The last thing I want to show you is kind of my collection of different pencil grips and things like that for pencils and pens and writing utensils. while they might not be like sensory, they'll also really help because some of them are squishy, so they kind of will help if you're writing. There's different things like this that are weighted, so this is really heavy. You stick the pencil in it for kids who need help with pushing down on their pencil. You have these big balls for, you stick this on a pencil. It's squishy. It kind of feels like a Nerf ball. I'm trying to read the name on it, but I can't see it. So you have this option. This one's great for working on the pincer grip. You stick the pencil down through the middle, you put your fingers in it, and you learn how to hold the pencil. So I have a couple of these in different colors. There are different pencil weights here. These are the same almost as this, except you stick the pencil through here, and then you have these little rubber bands that kind of go at the top and underneath to hold it on the pencil. So there's different sizes of these. You have this pencil grip here, where they kind of put their fingers in the top here and hold it. The pencil goes through the middle and they write. You have this kind, which is almost the same. It just kind of helps them figure out where to put their fingers to write. And this is just a pointer eraser that's in here for whatever reason. But that seems to be all of the pencil grips and stuff that I have in this little container here at home. So I will link to the blog post that shares all of the links for the stuff that I showed you. And if you have any questions after that or need help finding something else, or if you have another idea that you think would be great for me to add to the blog post, please let me know. And I will see you guys soon. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.